I'm like so over prepared, but I feel like I don't know. I need a salsa. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. How do I sound? Do I sound nice and clear? Do I sound crisp? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Guys, usually at this time, I'm not sleeping, but on the road. On the road to sleeping. But on Tuesdays, I've had like 79 cups of coffee and I am wired, okay? Wired to cook shrimp 2 ways. I'm going to start cooking at 8 o'clock, but we're going to just like mosey around the kitchen right now and get all my stuff in order. Tonight we're going to be doing shrimp 2 ways. So I have some colossal shrimp that I cleans both ends, the top and the bottom. Don't forget about the bottom. And we're going to stuff that with a little crab meat stuffing. So the stuffing that I'm showing you is going to also be the same mixture you could use if you feel like making crab cakes. You don't have to stuff shrimp. You could just make the crab cakes if you'd like, you know? So I'll probably repeat this whole thing 97 times. So don't get sick of me, you know? Thank you, Kathleen. I washed it today. Maybe that could be why. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, Sabrina. Thank you for being here. Hi, Ellen. What's up, my girl? Ooh. We're not going to block. We're just going to mute. Anywho, I'm drinking Waterloo. This is a spiced mango sorbet. Okay? 7:47 at exactly 8, we're going to start cooking. But because it's shrimp, you know, I feel like we're going to have a nice little chill. We're going to vibe. It's going to go nice and smooth. For the crab cake mixture, for the stuffed shrimp, I already fried up some celery, scallion, pepper. I'm going to add this in later. But let's prepare get the stuff ready for the stuffed crab shrimp, because stuffed crab shrimp. Crab meat stuffed shrimp. Because we're going to do that first, because we'll bake it off while we're cooking the other dish, which is a creamy sun-dried tomato shrimp, okay? I'm not doing any pasta or anything tonight, but you can serve this over rice, pasta, spaghetti squash. You can serve it with just like bread on the side. I did make a little roasted potato so I could plate the dishes up nice for you, just so you can get a visual of what it looks like when you serve it. I feel like back in the day when Food Network was like the best, you know, like when you actually used to put the Food Network on and watch these like cooking shows that actually taught you things, you know, not just like game shows all the time. It was like actually an informational cooking show. They would show you the recipe start to finish and you're like, oh my God, how did they do all that in a half hour? It's kitchen magic, okay? They cleaned the shrimp before they got on, which I did. They already fried up your vegetables. They prepped all your herbs. They did all the extra stuff. I know, rest in peace, Anne Burrell. What the hex? I just saw that. And she is the one where I learned you have to set your smoke detector off. Like, brown food is good food. If you grew up watching her cooking shows, she has taught you to sear your food. Like, that's where I learned that. I swear to you. That's sad. I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want to, it's like sad. She was so bubbly. But you know what? You never know. You never know. And it's just terrible. I feel terrible. It's terrible. This is the crab meat that I'm going to be using. I am going to just put it in a bowl because it says to pick through it and make sure there's no shells. So I'm going to do that in a little bowl with you guys. And I will save this container so they can see, because people are going to say, what kind of crab meat did you buy? And I'm going to say, this is the one that we bought. You know what I'm saying? I'll keep the cover, but it comes in like a little can like this. And really, this is cooked. You just want to like put it out in a bowl and run your fingers through it so you can tell if there's any shells. You know what I mean? So I'm going to just get like the bowl for that, the bowl for the stuffing. Something a little bigger. That'll be for the stuffing. I got a nice paring knife to show you the scrimps. The scrimpy scrimps. I got nice colossal. See, and people say I'm screaming, and this is just how I talk. This is me. This is actually me being pretty calm right now. I feel like, right? I feel like I'm pretty docile today. Should I turn my mic down? It's funny because I'll like hop on here and sometimes I feel like, do you guys hear me breathing? It is the creepiest thing, this microphone, because when I watch it back and edit it, I'm like, why? They really hear every single little speck. But I do love this microphone. I just filmed a brand deal for this, which I'm posting tomorrow. I cannot wait to post because the video came out so good. It's actually like so hysterical. And I had to film it outside. I used this microphone and I was like, you really tell the difference with the microphone. You really do. I'm gonna put you a little closer. Up close and personal. I'm gonna put my oven on 425 right now. I'm not gonna start cooking till 8, just in case anyone who is cooking with me or wants to watch this live from start to finish, they don't miss anything, you know? Right now, we just did a little prep in the beginning. For the crab stuffing, it's basically a crab cake. So I'm teaching you how to make a crab cake. You could use it as a crab meat stuffing in your stuffed shrimp. You could stuff flounder with it. You ever buy those salmon pinwheels from Costco with the crab meat in it? And they're usually using fake crab, the imitation crab. You do the same thing. This is just salsa. We are making today shrimp 2 ways. I am going to start cooking at about 8 o'clock. The first thing we're going to do is our crab meat stuffing for the shrimp. And I am going to probably repeat myself 90 times. And this is just because people are coming in and out throughout this whole live. And like, you know, you want them to stay. If you're scrolling, how do you scroll on your phone? Because I'm scroll. If it's not entertaining me, I'm moving on, okay? So you got to pop in. I feel like if you hear crab stuffed, I know I'm seated. I'm taking a seat. I got my notebook out and I'm taking notes. I have garlic 2 ways because, of course, I'm Leah. I have plain garlic that I just chopped up. And then when I do my creamy sun-dried tomato shrimp, I'm going to be using some, like, confit garlic. It's basically just roasted garlic. You take a bunch of peeled garlic. You pour some sort of fat over it. I like to use either a nice olive oil or butter. And you just cook it low and slow until the butter gets like nice and tender. I actually have the garlic olive oil that I'm going to be using today in my cooking. So when I make that, is this the one? Yeah, that's my honey lemon vinegar. When I make the garlic, the confit garlic, I always put the garlic in one container, and then this is the flavorful oil. I do store both in the refrigerator. I will just take it out, like, you know, the beginning of the day, because I know I'm going to use it, because as soon as you put this in the fridge, it's going to congeal. Obviously, it's olive oil. So just, you know, keep that in mind. Hi, Addie, fellow Hello Beach girly. How cute is Vanessa? Is she not the sweetest little thing? That little accent? It's like adorable. It's so funny because people say, you know, my accent. I don't even hear the accent anymore. You know what I mean? To me, it's just regular. It's just how I talk. Well, look, we're up close and personal. I have a rolling island being made. I really can't wait, but I'm waiting for the cabinets to come in. I needed the exact cabinet. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I am waiting for it. 7:55. We're going to start cooking at 5. I have my oven on 425 right now. Roast. You know, people ask all the time if your oven doesn't have a roast option or the convection option. I don't really think it makes that much of a difference. I do feel the convection does cook a little quicker. So if someone is, specifying a convection oven, I would maybe just cut like 3 or 4 minutes off that time on your end. Like if you have a convection and they don't, it's going to take 3 or 4 minutes quicker. Do you understand what I mean? If you don't have the convection, it'll take 3 or 4 minutes longer. Because some people will say, especially if you try the recipe like on one part of the world and then someone on a different part of the world tries the recipe the same exact way, it may not line up the same. And there's like so many factors that come into play with that. Thank you, G. Kira. That's so sweet. Thank you, JK. Your mom must have been a really cool mom. She must have been a really cool woman. We didn't start cooking yet, so you're not late yet, babe. We're going to make shrimp 2 ways. We're going to start cooking at exactly 8 o'clock. We're going to start with the crab stuffed shrimp, so that can get, popped in the oven. And while that's cooking, we will start making the creamy sun-dried tomato shrimp. Okay? I'm just showing you how to make the dish. You can serve it over rice, pasta. You could serve it with some bread, spaghetti squash. Really delicious over spaghetti squash. Hi, Shayna. I love you too, babe. Thank you for being here. Hi, Mikey. Hi, Boston Bobby. You made ceviche today and you didn't share? I am so upset. How dare you, babe? Thank you. Thank you, Riri. What are we doing tonight, guys? What time is it where you are? I know if you're in my area, it's 7:57. Thank you, Roslyn. Thank you, guys. Oh, I'm so happy you made my lentils. I feel like the weather nowadays is so trash. That's what you should be making, like something like lentils, So for our shrimp 2 ways, we're going to be doing colossal shrimp, which is a nice chunky shrimp. Like you need a fat shrimp because you need to cook in there for a few minutes because it's going to be covered with that crab meat stuffing. So you don't want to use a small shrimp. Like if you can't find the colossal, whatever the biggest one you could find is, okay? And the bigger you find, the more you could stuff it. If you happen to only find a smaller shrimp, just don't put as much stuff in, Just make the stuffing a little less. Because then it's going to be like, the shrimp's going to overcook. Stuff is not going to cook in time. Everything needs to be balanced when you're cooking. That's why you want to try to cut everything the same way. Like even when you're buying steaks, say you're cooking 3 steaks at the same time, you want to try to make sure they're all like the same size, the same thickness, because that's going to vary. Like say you're roasting chicken, right? You got 20 chicken legs and 10 of them are small and 10 of them are big. They're obviously not going to cook at the same rate. So think of that too when you're purchasing meat, Fish too. Honestly, I've been getting my fish from Wegmans. I really have. When am I doing a sushi mukbang again? I don't know. My daughter Serafina is not really a huge sushi fan, so I kind of order it here and there when I when I'm by myself for dinner, which is not that often. It used to be a lot more because Fina loved it. I don't know if you've been around since the very beginning, but Fina had me ordering sushi once a week. It wasn't even me, it was her. All right, my people, 7:59, we're going to start cooking, okay? If you were just joining me, hello. I am Leah Victoria from Leah's Cucina. Tonight, we are going to be making shrimp 2 ways. Who's allergic to shrimp right now, actually? Who's allergic to shrimp in the chat? Let me know. Because if you are, thank God you're not in the kitchen and there's no smell-o-vision, because that would be a problem, right? Now, I'm going to be using a nice lump. Oh, Natalie's here. I know Natalie's allergic to shrimp. I'm using a nice lump crab special, okay? You want to use a nice flaky crab meat. You could use the imitation crab meat too, but if you can come across something like this is, definitely best. And this is usually sold in the seafood department, whatever the refrigerator section is, okay? Now, you just want to open this up and you want to go through it just to make sure there's no little shells in it, because sometimes there will be a few little shells, very rare, but just put it in your bowl and literally just go in with your hands. You can feel it, Do a little crossover of it with your hands. Make sure there's no shells in there, basically. and this is going to be the meat that you're using for your stuffing, okay? You want to open it up, break it apart, but look at that. Okay, do you know how long it would take you to get all of the meat of you know how long it would take you to get that much meat out of the crabs? You'd be there for 6 months. Yes, wait, as long as there's no shells attached. Any type of crab meat that you can find, even the one in the can by like the tuna fish, wouldn't be my first choice, although I do love that as like a mayo-based crab salad, delicious. But you could even use that here, okay? Oh, thank you. Thanks, Boo. We're going to put this aside for now, okay? The first thing I'm going to show you is how to butterfly your shrimp for the stuffing process. So I have 12 shrimp here. I'm going to use 6 for the first recipe and 6 for the other recipe, okay? Also, if you are cooking with me, put your oven on 425. That's what we're going to be putting our shrimp in at. I have mine on already, so you want to do a little preheating, okay? This is the baking dish that we're going to use to pop it in the oven. I've even used my cast iron here. Like, whatever you got that can go in the oven, no problem. So, for this recipe, I do like to use a nice colossal shrimp. And whatever, like, the fattest shrimp you can find is. Sometimes you can't find the colossal, but you want something that can, like, withhold the stuffing, okay? Now, when you get the shrimp, please clean both sides of your shrimp, please. You don't want this black line. Sometimes the black line's here. Thank you so much for the gift, Susan. Thank you, my love. And if you're just joining, we're about to make crab stuffed shrimp. Right now I'm teaching you how to butterfly the shrimp, okay? Clean your shrimp, okay? This side, clean your shrimp. Now, normally I'd even take the tail off, but for this recipe, I'm going to keep the tail on. So I bought them. They're like peeled and deveined. Usually they only clean the top part, but I like to clean the bottom too. Now, you're going to be stuffing them. If you want it to look like fancy, right? It's going to stand up like this, basically. You take them and you just do like a bigger butterfly on the bottom over here. So they lay out flat like this. Do you see that? And then when we make our, oh, you can't see, can you say? And then when we make our crab stuffing, you're going to put that little crab stuffing, a little ball of it, just a little ball right here, and you're going to nestle it like that. Right? So let's do like 6 of those. I probably could have used a smaller container, but that's okay. That's okay. So we're going to butterfly 6 of those shrimps like that. Now again, you want to go in the opposite way of what you're going to put on the plate. Open it up a little bit. I like to use a nice paring knife here. Now you want to like basically flatten it out, you know? And it's going to perch up like that. So what's up, my people? Hi, Feminore. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but thank you for being here. This is like TikTok Live TV, aka the Food Network of 2025, right? Don't you think? Is that like crazy for me to say? Teriyaki meatballs, yum, that's different. Happy Tuesday, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Hello from Boston. Guys, if you're just joining, I am making a crab stuffed shrimp right now. We're doing shrimp 2 ways tonight, okay? I'm giving you a two for one. And we're going to be doing a crab stuffed shrimp, which we're going to get in the oven first. I'm just butterflying these shrimp, and then we are going to season them up while we make the crab meat stuffing. Then we're going to do a little creamy sun-dried tomato shrimp situation. And that's going to take probably like 12 minutes altogether. Great weeknight meal, okay? This is a great date night. Like, you want someone to propose to you? You trying to get married? Are you looking for a husband? Because this is definitely a dish, okay? I know the local restaurants by me, and I'm not even trying to hate. I love a good date night. I go out. I love to support all the restaurants. You know, who doesn't love a good going out to eat? But don't you want to also sometimes recreate those dishes at home? You know, I feel like every good Italian restaurant, steakhouse has a good stuffed shrimp. And honestly, it's not that hard. And I'm going to show you something, because the crab meat stuffing that I'm about to show you doubles as a crab cake. So I'm actually giving you a 3-for-1 today. You're getting a 3-for-1. Because even if you have a little leftover stuffing, you can use it the next day, make a little crab meat, a little crab cake Benedict. Like, that's fancy, right? I know. I'm so, guys, rest in peace, Anne Burrell. That is so sad. I'm so sorry to hear that, honestly. This is some shrimp. We're going to be making crab stuffed shrimp today if you're just joining. I have 6 colossal shrimps here that I butterflied so they could stand up nicely in the plate. We're going to just season these up while we prepare the stuffing, okay? So I'm going to put some lemon on here. Where's my knife? Here she is. Little lemon. I'm going to just season them right in here because I'm going to bake it in here anyway, right? So why would I use another plate? You know? I'm going to be stuffing them and baking them right here anyway. We're going to do a little bit of this Tony Chachere's. Tony Chachere's. Babe, can you open this for me, please? I don't want to break my nails. I don't want to break my nails. I have this good olive oil. This is the olive oil that I roasted my garlic in. I made a little confit garlic over here. And I like to keep it separate because, you know, sometimes I'm using the oil, sometimes I'm using the garlic. So I'm putting a little bit of the oil. I'm also going in with a little bit of Cavendish because you know I like to season, guys, okay? You need to season. Please season your foods. Season your foods. Thanks, babe. Halfway. Little halfer. This is the Tony Chachere. Now, again, I'm seasoning right in here because we're going to be using this to bake. So, no big deal. Let's get some Old Bay. Okay. I should have took my salt and peps out. Where's my salt and peps? Oh, is it over there? Yeah, because Mariella, I cut Mariella up avocados before. And she goes, salt, please. I said, okay, got it. Just a little bit because the Old Bay and everything else is pretty salty. So just a tiny little bits, okay? That's it. Little season. Season how you like. I like to keep like the seafood vibe over here. You know what I mean? So if you're just joining, we're making a crab stuffed shrimp. And I just butterflied some colossal shrimp. I seasoned it with some olive oil, lemon, Creole seasoning, Old Bay, some, what else did I put in there? Salt and pepper. And now we're going to make the crab meat stuffing. So I only have 6 shrimps. So I'm not going to use this whole can. I'm going to do something with this tomorrow too. I'll show you. I'm going to do something with crab tomorrow also. Maybe on live. Who knows? What are you guys doing tomorrow? You free? Should we have another date? What do you think? What do you think? Thank you, Nat. Thank you for being here. If you're just joining, we're making a crab stuffed shrimp, okay? I want you guys to know how to make fancy stuff in your own kitchen. You don't need to go out. Although you do, you know, sometimes want to go, but you need to know how to make it at home too. This is some nice chunky lump crab meat, okay? The type of meat that you get from like the seafood section of the grocery store. So this is a pound. I'm going to probably use about half of this. So say we're going to use about a half a pound. And I only have about 6 shrimp. Okay? Now in here, if you're just joining, this is some sauteed up celery, onion, bell pepper. This is going to be part of our mixture also. Okay? Going to put some of that in. Now, I also stated before that this also can double as a crab cake. So say you don't like shrimp. Say you're like, what is this lady doing? I hate shrimp. Don't stuff it. Just put it in like a little patty and fry it up like a crab cake, okay? So far all we have here is some crab meat. This is the fried up vegetable mixture. I'm putting a little bit of Dijon. Just like a teaspoon. Maybe a little more. Little Dijon, little bit of fresh parsley. Yeah, Dijon mustard, some fresh parsley. We're gonna do the juice of a half a lemon. Thank you for following me, Emma. I appreciate that, babe. Pretty vibes. I'm here every single day, babe. Where you been? Welcome back. I'm putting a half a squeeze of lemon. I like to run it over my hands just to try to catch those seeds as best as possible. Okay. Little fresh garlic. I didn't put the garlic in the sauteed vegetable. This is just some chopped garlic. So if you don't have the chopped garlic, like 2 cloves chopped up. A little bit of mayo. What are the side dishes? What are the desserts? I only got an hour over here. Should we make it 2 hours? Do you think we should do it 2 hours? What do you think? Mayo?
3.
I'd say about 2, my husband says 3. I'd say about 2 tablespoons of mayo. Now you're gonna season. A little bit of Old Bay. I love you too, babe. Thank you, guys. Tony Satch. Oh, this is Cavendish. And Tony Satch. And I feel like I kind of just use those interchangeably for like something like this, okay? So I'm making a crab stuffing for the shrimp, but it also doubles as a crab cake, which is actually pretty cool. I'm gonna go in with an egg. Okay. Let's get a spoon for mixing. A fork, actually. Let's get a fork. Should I shut it off, my Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
My husband wants me to get off. Fork. I think I'll do a little panko. Now, you could also do like a cracker crumb here. I like to take a whole sleeve of Ritz crackers and put that in the food processor. Delicious. Now, I like to make it very like crab meat forward, okay? I don't really like to mask the taste of the crab meat. You kind of just want to add a few things to like accentuate it. You know what I mean? You don't want to make it 50% crab, 50% stuffing. I mean, 50% bread. You really want it to be like 80% crab and 20% everything else, okay? In my opinion, like, doesn't this look like a crab cake that you want to eat? You know what I mean? And all you got to do is shape them into little patties, and if you think it's a little too loose to fry up, you can just pop them in the refrigerator for a few minutes. Pop them in the refrigerator 15 minutes, as long as they get nice and tight again, because all the fats are going to get nice and tight, and that is what's going to make them fry up nicely in the pan. So if you think it's like not going to fry up, put them in the fridge a little bit. Get them like nice and cold again. So I'm going to These are the shrimps that we butterflied. If you're just joining, we're making a crab stuffed shrimp. And you butterflied them in a way so they'll stand up nicely in the little thing, okay? In the baking dish. So you basically just take this crab meat in your hands. You want to make like a little ball with it. I made a little extra because I am going to do crab cakes tomorrow. And I'll show you how we do that too tomorrow. So you just do like a little ball. Now again, I'm using colossal shrimp. So I'd say this is like a little bit more than a tablespoon, maybe even 2 tablespoons. Take your shrimp that you butterflied flat, you see? We butterflied it like that. Take the ball. And you just put it like that. You see the shrimp tail kind of like holds everything together nicely? Let's do some more. Sometimes I feel like you'll see something served like this at the restaurant and you're like, oh my God, that's so fancy. Like, how did they do that? You know? And it's just little slits of the shrimp. Just little slits of the shrimp, you know? A crab cake, how many things did I put in that crab? 5, 6 ingredients? It's really not much. It's all about just combining the right flavors together. You see how nicely that sits? I will put the thing a little closer after I wash my hands, but they look beautiful. Thank you for following me. Thank you for sharing my live. You guys are so cool. We have so much fun on these Tuesday lives. I really appreciate you guys following me. Thank you for sharing my live. You guys are so cool. We have so much fun on these Tuesday lives. I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging with me. Plus, this is like cool. Like, we're literally on a cooking network, chilling with each other, making some crab stuffed shrimp. If you're just joining, this is basically a crab cake stuffed with some shrimp. And like I said, I am going to have a little extra here. And we are going to do crab cakes tomorrow. I'm actually thinking of doing a crab cake Benedict video for content. So I will definitely share that with you. Am I looking for a new house? Absolutely not. I am very happy where I am, honestly. I have no desire to move. The buying of a house process, the moving process, hated every second of it. Not even 4 seconds of it that I like. It's supposed to be like fun and exciting. Like, oh yeah, we're moving, we're buying a house. Miserable. Oh my goodness. Thank you for following me, Carries. Thank you, Fuzzy, for sharing the live. I would love to say your whole username, Fuzzy. Hi, Juan. How are you? Chorizo eggs Benedict. Yum. So what I'm doing here is I'm making a little bowl of the crab meat stuffing, okay? This is our butterfly shrimp. If you see, I kind of just split it underneath. Make sure you clean your shrimps both ways, top and bottom, okay? You lay it flat. Take your little crab meat bowl. Put it right on that shrimp and nestle the shell. So that's why for this, I do like to keep the shell on it. Thank you, Lulu. Yeah, buying a home is... I mean, listen, I bought my home pre-COVID, so I can't even talk for what... Yeah, buying a home is... I mean, listen, I bought my home pre-COVID, so I can't even talk for what's going on. You just... Everything's harder. And then you hear the older people telling you, oh yeah, I did it. Yeah, you did it when you were making 95% more than what your house was worth. Like, people are buying houses for $1 million and they're making $70,000 a year. You know? It's just not the same. You can't compare. I feel like sometimes people try to compare. And it's really just like oil and vinegar. It's night and day. You can't compare it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, guys, look at this. I mean, come on. Even if you hate me, you can't say you hate this. Look at that. This is a nice crab stuffed shrimp. And you know what I'm going to do? People like to go in with a little paprika. I'm going to go in with a little Old Bay on top. Oh, I got to get the little shaker though, because it gets dangerous when you don't have the shaker out. Give it a little color, give it a little color. Now, we did season these shrimps before. Remember that. I'm going to go in with a little bit of... Babe, can you open this wine for me?
Yeah.
Thank you, my love.
Which one?
The Pinot. I got some lemons. I'm going to put some lemons in here. Again, I have my oven on 425, okay? It's 8:17. We're about to get the crab stuffed shrimp in, and we're going to start here. Again, I have my oven on 425, okay? It's 8:17. We're about to get the crab stuffed shrimp in, and we're going to start working on this sun-dried tomato. It's like a creamy sun-dried tomato shrimp. I'm putting some shrimps. My husband's opening up, yeah, the wine for me, because I want to put a little wine at the bottom. If you don't want to put wine at the bottom, do a little bit of chicken stock, okay? Let me put this in a container. If you are just joining, guys, you really missed like a great portion of the live, because we just stuffed some shrimp with crab meat, and I have a little leftover. So tomorrow we're going to be doing a crab cake Benedict, okay? So this crab stuffing that we just made on here doubles as a crab cake, which is really cool, because you know what? Who like wants to eat the same thing 2 days in a row? Like, sometimes you just have a little extra, and what do you do with that? What do you do with it, you know? You gotta just switch it around. You gotta just change what it was. Like, whatever it was the first day, you need to do something completely different, you know? Thanks, babe.
Hey.
Thank you, my love. I'm gonna put a little bit of some wine at the bottom. I'd say like a quarter of a cup. Again, if you don't want to use the wine, chicken stock, vegetable stock, clam juice, seafood stock, all that works great. Can you put that in the fridge for me, babe, actually? Just put like a little foil on it. Yeah. And I don't want to pour this over the shrimp. I just want to put a little, like, splash at the bottom. Like, that's it. Just want, like, a little moisture down there, you see? I have my oven on 425. I'm going to set my timer for 12 minutes, and we're going to check it and see what it looks like. And I'll tell you where to go from there. Hey, Siri, set a timer for 12 minutes.
12 minutes, starting now.
Thanks, Boo. She worked today, babe.
She worked today.
We're gonna work on a creamy sun-dried tomato shrimp, okay? I also made these roasted potatoes earlier because I want to like plate everything up at the end. You know, I like to show you what it looks like at the end from start to finish. This was really just those little baby yellow creamy potatoes. I just boiled them up, got them like almost tender, and then I tossed them with butter, lemon, parsley, some garlic, fresh lemon juice, and then I roasted them at a high temp. Again, brown food is good food. Rest in peace, Amberelle. We love you, girl. Brown food is good food. Do not forget that when you're cooking. She ironed that in my brain. Do you hear me? Ironed it. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Jameen. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for sharing my live. Thank you for following me. You guys are so dope. If you're just joining, we got some crab stuffed shrimp already in the oven. We're going to work on our creamy sun-dried tomato right now. So this is our other shrimp. Let me just take this paper towel out. The same shrimp that we had from before, colossal. I already cleaned out both ends. We're not going to butterfly these because I'm just going to like do a little light saute on them, okay? So no reason to butterfly. I'm just looking for my flour. So we're going to season our shrimp and we're going to sear them off before we start building the sun-dried tomato situation. This is so easy, guys. This is like the premier weeknight. Like if you're trying to be fancy on the weeknight, this is what you're going to make, okay? We're going to do like, not even, I would say like probably like a tablespoon of flour. You're not trying to like coat it. You just want like a little bit to really coat your pan. That's going to just help you sauce later, okay? Old bag. You okay?
Try something real quick?
Yeah.
No, it's not. People are saying it is. I just want to make sure.
I'm going to do some Old Bay.
Hey, everybody.
Tom's here. Say hi, Tom.
Hey.
Cavendish. This is like the season situation. Some Tony Sachis. Now, just think of this as like a seasoned flour. And honestly, the amount of flour is really just to dry out the shrimp. You want to get a little color on the shrimp, okay? My little frying pan over here. I'm going to turn you around now. Thank you for following me and sharing my live, guys. I got a pan on. I'm going to put a little bit of the garlic olive oil in here. You could do butter, too. You could do regular olive oil. You know, whatever you got. Some sort of fat that, not like a canola oil, you know, maybe like an avocado oil, some sort of olive oil. Just because it's going to be part of your sauce. So you don't want to use like, mainly a canola oil. I don't love cooking with canola oil. That's really just like for frying if you have to fry. You know what I mean? If you're trying to fry, you don't have avocado oil, use the canola oil. Say like 2 tablespoons, okay? We're going to fry up our shrimp a little bit here. Thank you so much for the gifts, guys. Thank you. And if you're just joining, we're about to make a little sun-dried tomato and shrimp situation. I already have crab stuffed shrimp in the oven. They look so beautiful. So beautiful. I actually want my husband to come take a picture of them when they come out. Because sometimes when like you're cooking and you want to create content, you got to take a picture right away because that's when it looks the best. The food looks the best the second you take it out of the oven. It really does. You know how they say you got to let it rest for 15 minutes? Yes, because it'll probably taste better as it sits, but it looks better the second you take it out, in my opinion. Thank you so much, Yellow Heart. I wish I knew your name, my love. Harmony, Patricia, thank you guys so much for all the love right now. You're so dope. Your 4-year-old says hi, Leah. Hello, my love. How are you? This is oil. I made comfy garlic, so I It's the oil from that. It's really just extra virgin olive oil flavored with garlic. I basically made a homemade garlic oil. You want to get it nice and hot because the shrimp cooks very quickly. And we want to get color on it. You know, brown food is good food. You hear me? You hear me? The only thing with this is I cook with so much garlic that I feel like it just comes out of my pores. Hi, Vanessa. How are you, babe? Vanessa is here. She cooks on TikTok Live before me. She does a sweet thing. She does bacon. So she's like the sweet hour, and then I come in and hit you with the savory hour. Thank you for the gifts, Christina. Thank you, Yellow Heart. Yellow Heart, what's your name, babe? Babe, look for her and let's find out her name. We are cooking a sun-dried tomato creamy shrimp saute that you can eat over pasta, white rice. You can eat it with bread, over spaghetti squash. I already have crab stuffed shrimp in the oven, so you missed that part, but you'll see it after. Right now we have a little seasoned shrimp. I'm going to sear it off in this oil. This has a little bit of all-purpose flour, some Creole seasoning, some Old Bay. What else did I put? And Cavendish. So we're just going to get a nice color on these. You want your heat on pretty high here because you don't want to like overcook the shrimp before you get a little color on it. I'm just washing my hands. Did we find out that girl's name? I want to find out her name. I don't want to call you Yellow Hot. There she is again, babe. She is making a sauteed shrimp situation. I am making, it's like a creamy sun-dried tomato, really delicious over pasta, rice, bread, over spaghetti squash. I feel like spaghetti squash is kind of forgotten about, you know, and I really enjoy it. I even like it chilled, almost like a chilled salad. So this is just shrimp that I seasoned up. I got a little flour on it, some Old Bay, Cavendish, and you want to have it in a really hot pan, just like 3 minutes each side. These are colossal shrimp. So if your shrimp are a little smaller, then I would say like 2 minutes each side, even if. So you just want to get color on them and then flip them. And then we're going to build our sauce right in this pan. I'll show you. I'm going to shut the pan for now because these are cooked. Like, they'll be cooked in 1 minute as they sit. And then we're going to take them out. I'll show you. Thank you so much for the gifts, my love. Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Yellow Heart. Thank you, babe. Thank you, Yari. Thank you, Danny, for the hand heart. Thank you for following my live and sharing my live. I appreciate you guys so much. I really do. And I genuinely wish I could thank everybody. It's impossible. It goes so quick. I'm going to actually take these out so they don't burn, okay? These are the shrimps that we're going to be adding to the sun-dried tomato sauce at the end, okay? We're basically just making a really flavorful seared shrimp. And then we're going to be putting it on a plate of this delicious sauce. Because you don't want to mess up, like, look at the sear on that shrimp. You know how delicious that is? You don't want to mess that up. You're going to serve the shrimp on top of the sauce. So even if you were serving it over pasta, you would put the sauce on the pasta and then serve the plate. You know, top the plates with the shrimps. Because you just spend time getting that texture. You don't want to ruin it. Okay. First thing we want to do is cut a shallot. Got 2 shallots here. Let me just slice them up pretty thin. You could use onion, you know. Just happen to have a shallot. I just happen to have a shallot. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Lishy. That is such a cool gift. What is that? Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Cubano, for following me, babe. I appreciate that. You know, I always share these recipes after, too. So if you missed any of this, don't worry. I will hop on and share with you guys at some point. Usually either the next day or the day after. We share it. Okay? So don't you worry, my friends. Here's our pan, the same pan that we fried the shrimp in. We're gonna go in with the shallot. And I'm also gonna go in with these vegetables that I had before. So I fried these up for the stuffing. Now all this is the bell pepper, a little bit of onion, and celery, which goes great with seafood, okay? So I'm gonna add that in. Why waste it? It's gonna go great for the pan sauce. This is what I'm saying, to use what you have. Like a lot of times I'll fry up, you know, I've shared this before, a big batch of onions, and then I'll use those fried onions to add throughout the recipes throughout the week. You know, a lot of my dishes start the same way, a fried onion and garlic. It's just like a natural starter for me. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the gifts, babe. Thank you, Nicole and Louise. Thank you, Maureen, for that cool coral. So if you're just joining, I just seared up some shrimp. I seasoned it with a little bit of flour, Creole seasoning, Old Bay. I seared it up in a little bit of homemade garlic oil. And now I am just frying up some vegetables to start the sauce, basically. So I put a shallot in here. I had a little bit of fried up celery, some bell pepper. I'm going to add some garlic in here now. This is garlic that I just chopped up. Add a little bit of that. Now, if you don't have the chopped garlic, like two cloves, chopped up pretty small. Now, what we're going to do is slice up some artichoke hearts, okay? Not artichoke hearts, what am I saying? Sun-dried tomatoes. So I just want to show you, if you buy them marinated, usually they're in some sort of oil. Hey, Siri, off. That's the crab stuffed shrimp. Let's take that out. Usually they're in some sort of oil. And again, the canola oil, like, try to look for a nice olive oil, you know? I should probably shut my cabinets. What do you think? I should probably shut my cabinets. All right, my friends, let's take out this crab stuffed shrimp and see what's going on. See if we need another few minutes. Where's my other thing? Here it is. Thank you for following me, Badass Baddie. You really are a badass baddie. I agree with your username. Is she a beaut or what? I'm going to put them in for another 2 minutes. We already had them at 12. I'm going to do another 2. And then they're done. I'm giving them another 2. So if you're cooking, put them in for another 2. Hey, Siri, set a timer for 2 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
Not 3 minutes. Hey, Siri, off.
It's canceled.
Thank you. Hey, Siri, set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes,
Thank you.
starting now.
Thank you. So here's our sun-dried tomatoes. I'm going to use probably like 8 of them, okay? And I just want to like slice them up a little bit. Maybe I'll use a little more. How many I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's do 12 because I only have 6 shrimp. So let's do 12. Right now, if you're just joining, we're making a little like creamy sun-dried tomato shrimp situation. I have some crab stuffed shrimp about to come out of the oven. This is our seared shrimp, which is the base to the sauce that we're making. So here's our marinated sun-dried tomatoes. I'm gonna just slice them up. You know, you don't gotta get crazy with them. Just a nice little bite size, you know? You need them bite size, at least. You don't want them to be too small either, because you want them to be like part of the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Are you guys a fan of sun-dried tomatoes? If you're not, you could do artichoke hearts here instead. That works really great too. So if you're just joining, in this pan right now, we have some fried up shallots, bell pepper, celery, and garlic, okay? Putting in some sun-dried tomatoes. And I want to fry those up for a second. So you see the color of those sun-dried tomatoes? I want them to like darken a little bit. I want the heat to kind of like plump them up a little bit. You see how they're like shriveled and sad? They look like lonely, like they need a little Botox, you know what I'm saying? So that's what the heat's gonna do for them. It's gonna plump them up, tighten them up and plump them up. See, Perry, thank you so much. I love you too, babe. Hey, Siri, off. Hey, Siri, off. Yeah. Okay. You see how they're just marrying? You guys, like, I wish you could smell my house right now. It smells so good. Where is the smell-o-vision right now? Let's get those crab stuffed shrimp out. If you're just joining, look what I just made. Look, wait. It's so cool. It's like the coolest. Let's also shut this oven off now because it's hot as craps. I made crab stuffed shrimp. Is she beautiful? Isn't she lovely? Is it? Look at her. She's gorge. I'm gonna let them chill for like a few, okay? Let's finish this and then we'll move to that. Oh, Tom, I need you to take a picture, please. Oh, wait, I gotta put a little parsley. I gotta put a little parsley on there, wait. A little parsley. 1 second, don't take it yet. I think we should sing to it again. What do you think? Isn't she lovely? All right, wait a sec. A little fresh parsley.
Good
Everything
measure.
looks better with a little bit of fresh parsley. Yeah, I need you to... No, you got to get that off. Yeah, now you got to take it. See, now give me like one over here. There you go. Look at you. Look at you go, babe. So proud of you.
I'm out of here.
It's funny because when you met me, I only knew more like sidekicks. Right? I didn't know anything about anything. When it came to electronics, that's good, babe.
You take pretty good photos back in the day.
Really?
I think I used to take pretty good photos.
You still do take good photos. He actually swears the Android takes better than the other one. That's a conversation for a different day, I guess. Right, babe? Okay, if you're just joining, look at these delicious crab stuffed shrimps that I made, guys. And if you made these at home, do they look just as delicious as these? I know they do. Okay. It's about to get fun in this pan. We're gonna add a little bit of half and half. Now, you could do heavy cream, you could do whole milk. If you don't want to do any dairy, you can go in with a little bit of wine. You could do heavy cream, you could do whole milk. If you don't want to do any dairy, you can go in with a little bit of wine. What's it called? Chicken stock. But I feel like the vibe of this is really the cream. Like that's basically part of it. Now you want to do, I'd say almost a cup here. It's going to reduce by half. And that's what's going to thicken it. So you want to put more than what you want the sauce to be. So this is probably about a cup. Let this all cook really nicely. I have my stove on about medium because you don't want it too low either. You don't want it too low. Low either. You don't want it too low. Okay. Now, also with dairy, you don't want it to cook too high, too fast, because then it's going to like curdle and separate, and it's not a vibe. Okay? It makes your sauce just like not look appetizing. So you see how it's like already steaming along the edges? You already want to start going in there and mixing it around. Especially that you have your heat on pretty high right now. This is going to go quicker. So just don't like add a bunch of cream and walk away. That's a no-no. Because it curdles. It curdles, the fat separates. It's just like not what you want to do, you know? Thanks for sharing the live, my people. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I wish I could feed you guys. Like, I wish you could come here and eat this after I cook it. I really do. Like, back in the day, there used to be the type of cooking shows where you would, like, you know, the person would cook and people would come to the show. You remember that? I don't even want to say the person because everyone hates him now, which, you know, granted, he deserves it. But you would come to the show, you'd sit, they would eat, they'd talk to you while they cook. It was almost like a chef's table, but on TV. Love that. Love that so much. One day, who knows? Maybe I'll travel the world and do that. Who knows? Right now, we're here, me and you, okay? And it doesn't matter what could be, what will be. This is what it is right now, and I'm loving every second. Are you? I feel like we just made, I'm so proud of that crab stuffed shrimp. I cannot wait to plate it up with you guys. I really can't. So proud of that. So do you see how this already tightened up? Now, we're not going to be making any pasta with this today because I'm going to probably serve this tomorrow at some point, and I'll probably serve it over either pasta I'll make or rice. You could do couscous. Like I said, spaghetti squash is delicious also. Some sort of toasty bread even. Like you don't even need to make a pasta. You could just do something like that. Even like serve it with just, you know, a ton of sides. Sometimes I feel like if it has a nice sauce, people assume you got to do pasta with it. So many other things you could do. You know what I mean? But look at this. You see what we did here? I didn't add nothing. You were here with me the whole time. The reason why it's tightening up like that, number one, because it's the cream. Number two, the high heat. And number three, we had just a little bit of that flour there in the beginning. You remember that we had like a little bit of the flour on the shrimp? So at this point, I'm going to shut it because it's done. And you know your sauce is a nice consistency when you're running the back of your spoon and you see how it's like leaving you a little space there? That's how you know it's like a nice sauce consistency, okay? When you go like this and you got a little space in the pan, that's the texture I like my sauces to be, okay? So that's how I gauge it. Like if I think it's not like that, I'll cook it higher and a little bit longer, you know? And you see how the cream is not separated, the fat is mixed in nicely. That's because you tended to the sauce while it was simmering, okay? Can't just simmer away a cream sauce. Now, if you're making a pan sauce with like chicken stock and wine, simmer away. No need to sit there and stir it. Simmer away. But the cream is a little bit more finicky, okay? Now, again, you see how I kept everything kind of chunky? Like I wanted it to be more of like part of the dish. I didn't want it to be super soupy. I wanted this to be like part of the shrimp dish. So I'll show you how I plate this up. Let's plate up the crab stuffed shrimp first. This is the seared shrimp that I made to top this dish with. I'm going to put a ton of fresh herbs in there too. I'll put some parsley. I'll put some fresh basil that I picked this morning. And I'll show you how we serve that. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am not a chef. I'm just a home cook. I'm just a Sicilian girl who grew up in the Sicilian household who always, someone was always cooking. You're always in the kitchen doing something with somebody. I feel like it's just part of our DNA, if that makes sense. I really do. I feel like it's just like what we're meant to do. You know? Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you, Sabri. Just straightening up this board. Let's get a little plate. Now, I like to serve everything on a bed of arugula. Number one, it doubles as a green, okay? Like I didn't make a green here, so it's doubling as a green. And also, when you're serving the hot food on top of it, it wilts really nicely. And the arugula goes so nice with fish. Have you ever just made like a little simple arugula salad, some fresh lemon, olive oil, and then you top it with like some fish? Like a little flounder or even like a salmon burger. Delicious. Simple. It's just the arugula has so much flavor, okay, that you really don't need to top it with 100 things. I do love arugula. Thank you for the rose. Thank you, T-Rob. You ate salmon tonight. I hope it was delicious, Amy. I am from Queens. I'm in New Jersey now, though. Living the good life in Jersey now. Queens was cool too. I liked Queens. Nothing like the food in Queens, I gotta say. The food does not compare. Jersey food, I'm not hating, is delicious. But it's just different, I can't even explain it. I can't explain it. Because then if you explain it, you sound like a hater, but I'm not. Like, I genuinely love New Jersey. I'm so happy to live here. I really am. It's just, you grew up. Like, your roots are there. Like, I'm sure if you are from New Jersey and you go somewhere, you're like, there's nothing like New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Okay, guys, so I have my plate. I'm going to put a little bit of arugula. Now, we're going to dress the arugula, of course. You don't want to just throw some arugula on the plate and say it's going to taste good with the rest of your food. No, you got to season every component. And we're going to season this one too, okay? Which you're really just seasoning with some lemon. Of course, what else would I do? Some fresh lemon. Thank you for following me, Stephanie. Thank you for the grow garden. What a cool gift. Thank you, Sherry. A little bit of salt. I'm going to do some of my garlic olive oil. And that's it for the salad. Honestly, I tell you, it's delicious. Trust me. Trust your girl. Trust your girl. A little bit of olive oil. Thank you guys so much for being here. I have not made my own sun-dried tomatoes, but I do plan on making them this year. I have a lot of tomatoes out there growing. I probably have, what do I got out there? Like 20 tomato plants, babe? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's like 4 against the fence. I got a lot of tomatoes out there, okay? So I plan on doing sun-dried tomatoes. I plan on doing tomato paste. I plan on doing tomato powder, like as a seasoning. All right, guys, if you are just joining, you really missed like so much, I'm sad to say. But we did make this delicious crab meat stuffed shrimp. I'm about to plate it up for you, okay? And the crab meat also doubles as a stuffing. So in the crab meat, I actually wrote it down so I could read it to you. You could never understand my handwriting anyway. But I wrote down what was in it, so when you join later, I could tell you, because it's very simple. It's a handful of ingredients, okay? You could do this. I like to buy the crab meat that's in, like, the seafood section. It is labeled lump crab meat. You can get the claw, too. The claw works fine, as long as there's no shells, Sometimes they have the crab meat that's also by, like, the tuna fish. That would be like a second choice for me. If that's all you could get, no problem. Use it. Not a big deal. I have about a half a pound here because I'm only using 6 shrimp. If you're using 12 shrimp, use the full pounds. Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you for sharing the live money debt. I appreciate you, babe. So for the stuffing, all it is the crab meat, garlic, Old Bay, panko, an egg, mayo, Dijon mustard. Okay? But you also need to fry up before all this celery, peppers, and onion. Listen, if you're going to make it, just wait like 2 days till I post. Because then you could follow. Because I'm going to cut everything. And it'll be easier for you to follow. You got me? You got me here? Let's show you what it looks like, guys. I'm actually really, so proud of this one. Let me put the plate under it so it doesn't destroy my countertop. Does it look, as beautiful to you as it does to me? Because it, genuinely looks delicious in person. And sometimes the camera could be deceiving. You know what I mean? So if you're just joining, this is what we're cooking on Tuesday Night Live, guys. We're making crab stuffed shrimp. These look so dope. So I am going to just plate them up. Over here, I have a little seasoned arugula. I put some olive oil, salt, and lemon. And I'd probably serve 3 for this size plate. Put one here. I made some roasted potatoes. I'm going to put those on the side too. I just roasted these up, a little olive oil, lemon, okay, very simple, nothing crazy. I really just made it so like it looked nice on the plate, you know. I wanted to do a little cute plating for you. Because, you know, we always eat with our eyes first. So even if you're by yourself, like, sometimes you need to romanticize your life all on your own. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. I think that is cool. I really do. This was our crab stuffed shrimp. Delicious. Okay. Now I'm going to show you our sun-dried tomato sauce that we made. We tossed this up. We sauteed up some shallot, sun-dried tomatoes, and then I had a little bit left over of my fried up celery and like pepper situation. So I added that in too. So I like to serve this on like the bed of the plate. I'll show you. Now, obviously, if I was serving this with people coming over, I do everything family style. I don't do like plating per person. I just have like big platters. I serve everything on the platter and everybody helps themselves. I mean, I have 2 little kids, so let's keep it real. But I will like do little toppings. You do your fresh herbs. You put your little fresh citrus. Why not, right? Why not? Here's our seared up shrimp. Thank you for following me, guys. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you, guys. Now, I like to do a ton of fresh herbs here. I also, when I eat it, would put like a lot of crushed red pepper, you know. My mom said, boy, she wishes she was here. When you come, I'll make it for you, Ma. Okay. Now we're going to put a little bit of some fresh parsley. I do love a little fresh parsley. This is basil from my garden. Just tear a little bit of that. But also, like, the herbs wilt into the hot sauce, and that becomes part of the dish, too. And it's delicious, okay? The herbs play a nice role in the sauce. Just put some fresh lemon. And I feel like I should just put a little crushed red for safe measure. You know, and like I said, the sauce, I did make it on like the thicker side. I did tighten it up really nicely in the pan because I wanted it to be like part of the dish, where if you wanted to eat this without a pasta, it would still work. Like you could scoop the sauce up with just the shrimp. You know what I mean? So this is creamy sun-dried tomato sauce on the bottom with some fried up shallots, celery, bell pepper, loaded with vegetables. And then we topped it with the seared up shrimps that we seasoned with some Creole, some Old Bay seasoning, some Cavendish, which is just like a nice seasoned salt. Topped it with some fresh herbs, of course. And now I'm going to go in with a little bit of crushed red. But doesn't it just look so nice? Like, isn't that something you want to eat? Right? So we made that. And we also made this beautiful crab stuffed shrimp. Like, that is restaurant worthy. If you were out at the restaurant, how much are you paying for that? Tell me. I'm curious. Read me the numbers, babe. Please. I asked how much they thought I would pay for it.
Let's see. $28, $25.
$75. Maybe in Manhattan, Joanne. $75, probably in Manhattan. I feel like probably around us, like that would be like $46.
Yeah, with shrimp. Yeah.
With the shrimp. And you'd probably get more than 3. You'd probably get like 4. You'd probably get 4. Yeah, fish is expensive. Like, that's what I'm saying too. Like, I feel like sometimes people will also complain about the price of food, but like, have you been in a grocery store too? You know what I mean? Like, I feel grocery shopping and cooking at home really does open up your mind to prices when you're going out to eat as well. Because a lot of people will, assume the restaurant is so expensive, but like they're serving you halibut or they're serving you sea bass, and like I'm going to Wegmans and the halibut is $46 a pound. So maybe they're getting it for a little cheaper because they got like the restaurant tipo prices or wherever they're shopping, but it's not that much cheaper, especially nowadays. Restaurants are getting chopped over the head with the prices of food. Everything is very expensive. So if you're just joining though, we did shrimp 2 ways. Okay? Looks beautiful. Babe, can you take a picture of me, please? Can you take a picture of me? Yeah. We did shrimp 2 ways. This is shrimp. It's like a little seared shrimp, and we put it on a bed of like a creamy sun-dried tomato sauce, little shallot, sauteed pepper situation. And then this is a crab meat stuffed shrimp with a crab stuffing that also doubles as a crab cake. So I did have extra of the stuffing, and I will show you tomorrow what the crab cake looks like, because I think I'm going to do a crab cake Benedict. I want to use it as the cover. How cute! This was fun, guys. Shrimp 2 ways. Shrimp 2 ways. Look what we did, guys. So good. And you know what I love? I like to use a bell pepper here, like a red bell pepper. Don't use a green. Use like a red or like a yellow. I'm not a fan of green bell peppers. I don't know if I'm just biased, if that's just me. I don't love green bell peppers. Thank you, Crystal. Orange or red, yellow. I don't know why. When I was growing up, my mother used to always tell me green peppers come up on me. So I don't know if she had like an aversion to them, and maybe that like simultaneously gave me one. Thank you for following me, Whisper His Grace. Thank you for the donut, Miss Drea. Thank you for the ice cream. Thank you, Ricardo, for the rose, and Nikki. Thank you for the garden gift, Alberto. That's my favorite. Wait, why are they hard to digest? I have to read that one. Because they're not ripe. Oh, so you're telling me if you leave...
It goes red, right?
Even if you're purchasing a green bell pepper plant, if you leave it, it's gonna turn colors? I am so intrigued. They give lots of people reflux. And my grandmother used to always say, the homegrown don't. She used to like grow the green peppers, and my mother-in-law used to eat the homegrown ones. Wow, I had no idea, guys. I thought it like specified per pepper. See, we teach each other something every day. I taught you how to make shrimp 2 ways, and you just told me that a green bell pepper is just an unripe pepper. So it makes so much sense why it's not as sweet as all the other peppers. It makes so much sense. Mind blown. Me too, Boston Bobby. Mind blown. I love the Italian green long. Those are my favorite. I buy them all the time. The long hots. I love them. I'm pretty sure I have some growing right now. I have a lot of things in my garden right now. If you're just joining, guys, we did make shrimp 2 ways today. Thank you for hanging with me. This was another awesome live, okay? I really appreciate you guys. This one was a crab stuffed shrimp, and this is a creamy sun-dried tomato shrimp. They're so plump. The shrimp are so juicy. I love a good colossal shrimp. You can't go wrong with a nice colossal shrimp. I hear you banging on the door. The door's open, babe. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you for being here, babe. I appreciate you guys coming. I know this is late for you, too. Hi, Sue Handy. Everyone say hi to Sue. She's a first-time watcher. Thank you for being here, Sue. You did miss a delicious meal, though, so you're going to have to catch me on my next live to see what I cook next time. But this time, we made a nice, creamy, sun-dried tomato sauce with some seared shrimp. And I also made a nice crab stuffed shrimp. I taught you how to butterfly it so it's set up nice and pretty on the plate like that. Next time I'll probably teach you something cool too, so it's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry, babe. Hi, Belle. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you, William. No dessert. I didn't make any dessert. Lil OG Will became the number 183 fan in the fan club. Thank you, Little OG Will. Thank you. Thank you for the Chili Peppers, Alberto and Katie. Sandra and Co. You guys are so dope. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. 600K likes. Yeah, because I always say you guys don't have to spend money on gifts. You know, I never ask you people for anything. I would never, you never catch me dead. You never catch me dead. But like the tapping of the screen, you know, you don't gotta pay nothing. That's just a little exercising of your finger. Thank you for following me, the Dad Labs podcast. Thank you, Anna. A few little love taps. You guys are funny. I'll probably do a mukbang. I usually do a mukbang after. Cassandra became the number 189 fan in the fan club. You guys are so dope. Thank you. Hi, DJ. So to warm it up, I would just put it in the microwave. I mean, listen, if you're hosting, obviously like time it in a way where you can serve it when they come. But for me, I'm simple. Put it in the microwave, 30 seconds, I'm good. No big deal. I'm easy to please. I'm a mom of two. You don't think I've ever eaten cold microwave food before? I have plenty of times. It's actually my specialty. I actually like don't mind to eat a few things cold for that reason. You know what I mean? But what are you going to do? So I go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. And I usually go live in between the week too at some point. This week I didn't do much because it was Father's Day weekend because, you know, usually I'll hop on the weekend. Thank you. Thank you, little OG. Ride 'em, cowboy. Thank you for the hat, my love. I appreciate that. Hi, Sandro. Thank you. But this weekend I kind of like lay low with my crew. My husband took some time to go fishing. He did catch a nice fishy. He caught a biggin, as he calls them. So, did a little QT with the fam this weekend. But usually you'll catch me at least twice a week on here. But if you're looking for content, I'm posting content every day, all day. Because everyone's like, oh my God, I never see you on my FYP anymore. But I'm like here every day. So welcome back, babe. I just posted a really delicious meatloaf recipe. And then today I made, for lunch, leftover meatloaf sandwiches. Like, did you grow up eating meatloaf sandwiches with the leftovers? Like, they got to be cold from the fridge. Or you sear them up and melt some cheese. So I also made a leftover meatloaf sandwich today, which I recorded. I'll probably post that tomorrow morning at some point. Hi, Star. I know, Leslie. That's so sad. That's terrible. I feel so bad for her family. And also what's sad about it too is like, especially being in like the public eye, you feel like you can't really mourn in private, you know? Tony, I love you too, babe. Thank you for being here. Thank you, babe. Thank you for following me, Yan. You're dope. Thank you, Kim, for following me. You and your mom are intrigued at what? The dishes? At what we cooked? We made some sun-dried tomato gravy with like a creamy shallot sauce and some seared shrimp. And then I also did a crab stuffed shrimp. And I taught you how to butterfly it so your shrimp like set up really nicely in the plate. Hi, Jalen. What's up, babe? Thank you, Justina. Thank you for following me, Lucinda. Thank you for following me, Irene. I appreciate that. A sausage and sauerkraut. Yum. You know what I actually just bought the ingredients to buy? I'm going to show you. I was going to buy not a sauerkraut, a cabbage. I was going to make a cabbage and pierogi dish. Let me show you what I just bought. These are like little mini pierogies. So in my head, I was thinking like a fried kibasi cabbage situation with these fried up and just like shits on a butter and garlic, you know? I feel like that sounds delicious. Like, doesn't that sound so good? Thank you for the garden veggies. Thank you. The mini, yeah, I never seen those mini ones. They have like a bacon potato cheese one. I just got the 4 cheese. But they did have like a bacony one too. All right, my people, I got to get off now because, believe it or not, Mariella's still in school. And now I got to clean the kitchen. If I showed you what the kitchen looks like. Everyone that's at the door knocking for their leftovers, I wonder if you'd clean the kitchen after. I know my hubby will. So I actually went into a Polish deli around me. I don't even remember the name of it, but I gotta find a good one. You know, I didn't walk into the best. You know, I didn't walk into the best one. Let's just keep it real. You missed the food, Birdie, but I will share. So you'll just have to watch it and it'll eat it. What, babe?
Linden.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, someone just said there's one in Linden, babe. I guess we're going to have to take a ride to Linden. What do you think?
Greenpoint does have the best Polish delis and food.
See? All right, guys, I'm going to hop off, but if you're just joining, you did miss a delicious live. I made these crab meat stuffed shrimps. And the crab meat doubles as a crab cake, so I kind of like gave you a twofer with that, okay? And I also showed you how to butterfly the shrimp nicely. This was a nice creamy sun-dried tomato sauce with some shallots and sauteed vegetables, some bell pepper, and then I seared up some shrimps, and that's how you would top it. You could eat it just like this. You could serve it on a bed of spaghetti squash, pasta, rice. You could serve it with just some crusty bread, whatever your vibe is that day, okay? And that's it, my people. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here, hanging out with me. Thank you for extending your bedtime for me, okay? I appreciate that. Time is money. I know that. Thank you for the gift, Alberto. Thank you, Purdy Bo. Good night, guys. Until next time, my loves. I appreciate you. And if you're just joining, don't worry. I'm going to post it. Give me like a day, you know, or 2. But I'll post it. I love you guys. Have a great night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.